Hey guys, this video is an update letting you know how our new setups are working out for us. Here in the south where we have warm season grasses, we're in the height of our mowing season. Our grasses grow like crazy in the middle of the summer, whereas if you're in a cooler climate with cool season grasses, your busy mowing season is the spring and the fall. But here, when the weather like 2 days ago was 100, the heat index was 115 degrees with extremely high humidity. That is when our warm season grasses absolutely thrive, and they're right now they're thick, they're wet. It's a nightmare to mow. Here's an update on how everything is working out so far with our new setups. As most of you who've been following know, in previous years we used a traditional two-man mowing setup. We operated out of an Isuzu box truck. We used a 48-inch stand-on mean green mower, which was fantastic. But this year, for a lot of reasons that we stated in some of our other videos, we decided to go to a setup that has much lower overhead, a lot less of a learning curve for employees, and we decided to go with Toyota Priuses and one-man crews and push mowers. So no more zero turns, no more big trucks and trailers, just one man, push mower, weed eater, edger blower, the whole 9 yards like that. Our experience so far is kind of our thoughts when we did this was that it was going to be more profitable for us because the overhead was going to be a lot less. It was going to be more efficient because there was a lot less wasted time. It was going to be much easier to train employees with, which is very important in the market that we're in right now because it's very difficult to hire people. And it was just overall going to be easier, less liability, less damage to property because you're trading a 700-pound mower for a 70-pound mower. So, just a lot of benefits that we could foresee and some negatives that we obviously could foresee. But I have to say, after several months of experience, I am very happy that we decided to go with this setup. It has been a lot more profitable for us. It has been a lot less headaches. We've had, aside from damaging a couple of sprinkler heads, which is normal, I don't think we've had any damage, no damage siding, no property destroyed, anything like that. It's been much easier to train people and get them up to speed and get them profitable. Much lower overhead, obviously going from a box truck that has a lot of maintenance and gets 8 miles to the gallon to Toyota Priuses that get about 50 miles to the gallon. With very little maintenance, that's obviously going to save a lot of money, as well as going from a $17,000 or $18,000 mower to a $650 mower, plus the batteries. Obviously, that's going to be a lot lower overhead. It's going to be a lot cheaper to replace equipment or repair equipment. Some of the difficulties, some of the challenges have been that we're starting to experience. The shortcomings all come with the mower because with this thick grass, when you're in the height of your growing season with this thick grass, the mowers really slow you down when they're not able to cut through thick grass and you're having to double cut and sometimes triple cut certain areas. So we kind of expected that, but it is a little bit more than what we thought. The Greenworks 25-inch mowers aren't doing as good as we hoped. They were doing great for us when the grass really wasn't growing, like it is now. And they're still doing well with some of our more established properties that are where the grass is really growing. We're having to spend a lot more time there mowing than we expected. Still, like I said, we make up for it in the early part of the summer and then the late summer and fall. But that is the big shortcoming. I'm hoping that Greenworks really comes out with their 30-inch commercial grade push mower pretty soon. I've heard rumors that they're actually going to introduce it and it will be ready to sell by GIE. And it is supposed to be a much beefier machine that's going to do much better, much better in those kind of conditions. And it's supposed to be very comparable to Toros and Exmarks, 30s. As far as everything else, it's working just as planned. Our guys are happy. We did implement a new pay system this year that I think if you're going to go with one-man crews like we have is really important. And we got it from Mike Andes, who is another YouTuber, a very successful businessman, and it's called Pay for Performance. So we have implemented that, and I think that's a big key to being successful with one-man crews. Otherwise, you're going to have the issues of people, riding the clock, stopping every gas station, you know, just not being as efficient as you would like. But we've implemented those things, and it's gone really well this year. Right now we're maybe 125 or so mowing customers, about 180 fertilization customers. You know, we're growing steadily like we want to. Obviously, you know, we'd like to grow more, but you know, it's been a challenge with employees this year. Some good news from at least from South Carolina this summer is that they ended the federal unemployment subsidy that they were doing, that they're still doing in a lot of other states. Now, who knows what's going to happen with this Delta variant and everything, if they're going to go back on it. But at least in the meantime, we've actually been able to get some applications, and we've hired at least one person. If you're in a state where they've ended that, I hope that you know, everything's getting easier as far as employees. But at least on our end, it is seeming to ease up a little bit, although it's still very difficult to hire. It's not like it was a couple months ago when you'd spend thousands on recruiting and not get one application. But our plans for the rest of the year are just to continue to have steady growth. We're regularly adding customers. We're still getting tons of leads every week. We're spending a lot of money on Facebook ads. We're doing a lot of marketing, print marketing, postcards, stuff like that to our target neighborhoods. But we're still signing up a lot of leads, not as much as in the spring, of course, but still a lot more than I expected this time of year. So I'm hoping to end our season with close to 150 mowing customers and, you know, well over 200 fertilization customers. We're really hoping that the 30-inch mower comes out from Greenworks, because that is the only missing piece to give us a, you know, a really effective setup. You know, like I said, I'm very happy with what we have right now. It's much more profitable than what we were doing before with two-man crews. Typically before, we would have a two-man crew that we would send out, and they might be able to do 16 or 18, maybe even 20 properties in an 8-hour day. Now I can easily send out two guys with two one-man crews, and they can knock out, you know, closer to 25 properties a day in a normal 8-hour day. So those guys are generating more revenue, and our overhead cost is much lower, as well as all those other advantages that we talked about. But that's kind of where we're at. You know, I'd love to hear how you guys are doing, how your season is going. As one other thing, the robotic mowing, we have installed some robotic mowers, and that's a learning curve like anything else. I'm very optimistic about the future for that, but it is a learning curve. As any of you had experience with the robotic mowers, it does take some time to learn how to install them properly so that they function properly. But once we kind of work out some of those kinks, I'll make a video and kind of update you guys on how that's going. And I think that's going to be a big piece of our business in the coming years. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and wish you all the best in your business this summer.